Did I ever tell you as a kid I always wanted to be a director? Like a movie director? I didn't. Maybe I did, but I don't remember. Anyway, today I like to share you guys my favorite top 7 movie directors. So in this list you might be not surprised if you were them, but if you follow me on Twitter you might be know who they are, on Instagram too. Well, and you're probably wondering why 7? Because 7 is now my lucky number. Yesterday my mom has got an amazing news about her tumors finally getting smaller. Isn't that great? And by the way, thank you for your support and love, sharing your love and praying for my mother. I can do this all without you. So she. Anyway, like I said, I always wanted to be a director, but I know it's a hard job, but maybe I can one day. I like to shoot a short film, and when that goes successful, I will make it a feature film. If the one studio will saw it. My short film. Let's get to it. This is my top 7 favorite movie directors who inspire me, make me a filmmaker in the future. Number 7, Brian Howard. You probably know him from the Encanto, Tangled, Bolt, and Zootopia. Yeah, I like to call him my favorite modern Disney movie director. Modern age movies, of course. You know, one with the CG cartoons. Not the 2D animation, but 3D animations. Well, his movies are basically powerful movies with the powerful messages. And also has lots of good humor, good cast, and also great. His all movies almost include a great soundtrack. Like I like Zootopia soundtrack and bold, suspenseful music, and of course Tangled and magical fairy tale musical. And Encanto is also musical, but also very resemblance of good times in Colombia. So yeah, that movie is also my favorite musical of all time, Encanto, if you don't know. Maybe I'll have to do a top something favorite musical movie. I think I'm gonna do that next time. Number 6, Darren Aronofsky. Yeah, so Darren Aronofsky, reason my favorite director in my list, because he directs such a most important film in our lives. To Requiem for a Dream, to Black Swan, Mother, and of course upcoming Whale, which is gonna be based on the stage play. Which this movie also has the same genre, psychological drama. Yeah, it rhymes also. He started his career by his first feature film known as P, number P, not the P coming out in art, you know. And then Requiem for a Dream. That's the most successful movie he's ever done. But the thing I'm gonna try to say is his movies are so good. If he was psychiatrist, he can save people's lives. He will be the best psychiatrist ever. He's that level of good. And not that guy I created. Anyway. But seriously, I like to see more of his works. If he's gonna do more movies, I like to see all of them. The Whale, of course, is gonna hurt me since stage play is so powerful and emotional. And Brendan Fraser is gonna return. What else could you want? Number 5 and 4. Yeah, number 5 and 4, you're probably wondering. I'm gonna call this number 5 and 4. Anyway, they're two brothers. They're good fellas. Russo brothers. Yeah, I'm gonna call it like that. 5-4. Russo brothers. Anthony and Joe Russo. Directors of Captain America, Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. I hope they can direct Secret Wars too. I hope that movie's gonna be good too also. Well, they also made a lot of great TV shows like Arrested Development. Like that's a show, that's a good show, but also I want to see more of their work. Like I know they did few movies, and then after Marvel, they start making more. Which is the reason I love their movies, because they're combined. I like the thing I'm trying to say is they're great as the directing the movie as together. Even though Joe Russo makes in a cameo sometimes, but not Anthony. I don't know why, but I like the way they direct as a brothers. That's cute. Maybe Cousin and I will be directors too, even though we're cousins, not really brothers, but that's the only brother feel I have on him. So yeah, Russo brothers are always great. I hope they will return to Avengers Secret Wars, and if they do, I will be so excited. Number 3, Steven Spielberg. And you probably want to know, Steven Spielberg is number 3? How? Well, thing is, don't get me wrong, I love his movies like E.T., Jaws, Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, first 3 Indiana Jones movies. They're all great. But yeah, I had to put them in number 3. Don't get me wrong, I'm always a fan of his films. Well, also I'd like to share you guys about Steven Spielberg, about my family story. My mom's family, as a young times, they used to watch his movies, but they don't know it was the same guy who directed it. I was so shocked by that. Like, they don't know it was a Spielberg movie. And also Jaws, which is I got that movie from my grandmother. She mentions me when I was drinking a soup, when I opened my mouth larger, and then she says, "You open your mouth like Jaws." And I was wondering that, what is Jaws? And she says, it's a shark movie. And I know as a kid I saw a lot of bad shark movies, like sometimes okay ones, but Jaws is always classic and always memorable. Only good shark movie ever made. Number 2, Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan is the most iconic director for every generation. You're probably guessing number 1 by this point. Anyway, Christopher Nolan is basically a director of Inception, Installer, The Tenet, and of course my favorite trilogy of all time, along with the Back to the Future, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy, is the Dark Knight trilogy. Best Batman movies ever made. Later on we got Ben Affleck, is also great Batman. Robert Pattinson, I haven't seen him. I don't see him as Batman. He could be worked out as Terry. I can't spell the characters. I can't even spell character's last name. But I'm saying that Robert Pattinson should be worked out as Batman beyond Batman. Terry. I can't say his last name. But yeah, Christopher Nolan also ends some of his movies like ambiguous notes, like in Inception and Dark Knight Rises, which I'm not going to get into those. But if you haven't seen his movies, go see it, especially Memento. Like I said, his movies are great. If you have a time, go check it out. And then last, number 1. You probably not guessed, right? You probably not guessed who it is. Alright, drum rolls. Zack Snyder himself. That's right. Zack Snyder is my favorite movie director of all time. Like James Cameron says, he's an inspiring director. That makes me want heartwarming. And Russo brothers also supported Justice League movie, which is the only live-action Justice League movie we have. But we're trying to get the second and third ones with Restore the Snyderverse campaign. I hope that happens too, because these movies should happen. Zack Snyder is also not only known as from his visionary shooting and powerful story, inspired and based on the not only directing the most iconic movies like 300, Watchmen, remake of Dawn of the Dead, and Batman vs Superman, all of them, but also he has a good heart. He's such a nice person to his crew and his cast. And if you don't believe me, go check it out in behind the scenes. Look how happy he is. So yeah, he's a great director. That's the director, along with Christopher Nolan and Steven Spielberg, I want to meet him. Maybe I can do an interview with them one day, if it's possible, because I want to interview with all of them. Like, those 7 directors are the best. I want to meet them. I want to interview with them. Maybe I like to put them into my videos as a special guest. But time won't tell. But like I said, if you like Zack Snyder's movies, and if you want to see more of his movies, especially DC films, just say Restore the Snyderverse. But he has an upcoming movie like Rebel Moon. It's gonna be like his version of Star Wars. And that looks interesting. Like, cast looks amazing. And it's gonna be a 2-parter. Like Kill Bill and upcoming The Witch. The Wicked, right? That was the name of the movie. Wizard of Oz spinoff. So yeah, it's gonna be split in 2 parts. I'm so excited how is it gonna work out. Even though it has Ray Fisher, like, come on, everything what Ray Fisher touches is the gold. He's a great actor. And I hope he will have a larger role. And Anthony Hopkins is gonna be in it too, that's amazing. Anyway, so this is my top 7 favorite movie directors who inspire me, make me as a filmmaker in possible future. Like I said, I want to shoot a short film one day, but I had to come out with the idea first, and I have to come out with the equipment and the directing style. Even though I like to share you guys about me and my mom has discussed something like a short movie trilogy if the first one goes successful. I like to call it Switched, which I'm not gonna get into it. But if you want to make me this movie, I will honor to make this movie. So thank you guys for watching, and that's another long video. It's literally 10 minutes and 39 seconds. My apologies. Now 10 minutes 43 seconds. So anyway, I gotta go and just to do resting, because it's such a rushing day, putting my cat into the vet. So yeah, he's got a good checkup. Take care.